My name is Zakia Ringgold, and tonight we are going to be doing a DIY bubble scoop, which is a little bit different from our regular bar soap. But hopefully you will get a chance to see how all of this comes together and see that it's not that difficult. It's actually a fun bath treat. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a commercial so I can actually check to make sure that we landed exactly where we thought we would land. And we'll Alright, so it looks like we have landed. If you have never ever been here with me before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. You crazy folks for deciding to come back a second time again. But my name is Zakia Ringgold, and I'd like to welcome you, all of you that are new to Soap Nation, and of course those people that are watching on the Baraka Clan page. Hello all over. Very happy to have you. Let me make sure here that it's actually working. I tried it, but we don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Hello, Nina Rose. Thank you, Nina, for letting me know that we actually have landed over there. I'm very happy to have you here. We are up to 27 folks in about 30-ish seconds. So welcome to the broadcast. We are a very interactive kind of broadcast. I know typically you're used to just kind of sort of watching and seeing what the person's doing, but I want to talk to you. I want to actually see you. Hello, Elsa. Very good to see you on the Facebook side, and we also have Latrice checking in on the YouTube side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run through the ingredients. This will turn into a blog on the Baraka channel at some point. So you'll have the exact recipe with the exact measurements, but this is just to show you just how simple it is to make your very own bubble scoops. Now, bubble scoops are kind of like bath bombs, but not as explosive. The idea of a bubble scoop, and here I'm going to hold up an example of one. I'm going to bring one up. Hey there, Integrity, how are you? So what we do is we kind of scoop them out. And what you can, I hope you guys can see that it's coming across okay. And you put them in like a little cupcake container, and they can come in various colors. And what you do is you crush them in your hand as your bath water is running. And because it's packed with cocoa butter and shea butter, it's going to be a very conditioning bath. And then we add a little bit of color, because who doesn't like a little bit of color? We also add just a taste of, let's see, let me pull that down. And then we also add some scent because we want it to be intoxicating. So this is what we are after tonight. But I'm going to try and see if we do a larger one. And your scoop size is really going to depend on what you use to scoop it out. It's telling me that I'm missing your comments, but unfortunately I can't tell. So there is a little teeny tiny scoop that you can use. If you go to your grocery store, you can find these typically where the cookie dough is, raw cookie dough, or for an ice cream scoop to get a larger size. So the ones that were in here came from the cookie dough scoop, but if we were just doing, I'm going to show you an example of both. These are so cool, easy for kids at camp, absolutely. The only thing that I would say, and I'm going to quickly measure out our shea butter so we can get that going. The only thing I would say is maybe have them wear goggles, because if citric acid, one of the ingredients that we're going to use, if citric acid gets in your eye, it really burns something terrible. So you want to make sure if you're going to have kids making this, that you actually will have them wear goggles. Have them wear goggles so that it's a little bit safer. But yes, this is a great activity, especially in the summertime. Hello, Rosewater. How are you? Checking in over there on the Periscope side. So our recipe includes some cocoa butter. I have to measure out our shea butter. I do typically keep my shea butter in a plastic baggie here, just to make sure no additional air gets in there or whatever. And then we also are going to be using some baking soda, some citric acid, and some sodium lauryl sulfate. Now, this is what we're going to use to create that bubble effect in the tub. Then we also have some fragrance. No, this is actually our Polysorbate 80. Polysorbate 80 is what allows those colors and the oils to disperse while it's in the tub. If you don't have this, you might notice that if you try to make this without Polysorbate 80, you'll notice, oil and water does not mix. So with the Polysorbate 80, it helps it to disperse, and it also helps to disperse the colors in the tub so that you don't just have an oil slick on the top of your water. Then we also have our spatulas to help us with the stirring. We also have our fragrances. I go to a lot of soap makers gatherings, and there's always vendors that give us samples. You don't need a lot of fragrance. Typically, this recipe, you need about 1 ounce of fragrance in order to do it. So I have a fresh pickled plum, and this one came from Pure Fragrance Oils, and then I also got lemon, which came from Candlewick. Now, I just realized I tripled my recipe so I can make a little bit more. So I'm actually going to need to add some additional fragrances. I got to think about that. I'm going to need a total of 3 ounces because I tripled my recipe. My recipe typically only takes 1 ounce per batch that I make. So I have our water going on over here. This is on a double boiler, guys. So I have water down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to put our solid butters inside in this top burner so that it can melt down. And I'm going to do that first so that I can actually mix the ingredients up before we move forward. So while I am doing that, I see that we have about 72 people across the platforms that are watching. So if you have not already, take a moment to pause for the cause and let me know that you are here by saying hello, or tell me your name, where you're watching from, and all that fun, entertaining kind of stuff. And now I'm going to come on the Facebook side and see, because it looks like we may have a problem. We may have a problem over there. Looks like Wayne is here. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody on the Baraka side. Let's see. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Yep, it's working. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and measure this out. We only need 3 ounces of the shea butter, and it's pretty much an equal proportion. We're actually going to do an equal proportion of 3 ounces of the shea butter, and then we also have 3 ounces of the cocoa butter that are going on right in here. And if you guys are commenting, unfortunately, sometimes technology does what it wants. You're also going to need a kitchen scale, guys, unless you can eyeball it and kind of hold it up in your hand and figure out if you have measured it correctly or not. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop off some of this shea butter here and measure it out. That's 1.25 ounces. That's 3 ounces, and we need, I'm going to go over just a bit. And the reason why we're doing these butters, it helps to adhere the bubble scoops together. And then what it also does is it conditions the water. So these amazing butters are sitting right there in the water with you, so it helps to moisturize and luxuriate your skin. I always find it interesting when I say moisturize, and we're talking about water moisturizes, that's its job. However, the oils help to seal that moisture in, and some of those qualities from the butters that you're using actually are great for the skin as well. So, while I'm running my mouth, I'm going to go ahead and put this over here into our pot so that they can start to melt down right on the double boiler. Some people will use a microwave, which is absolutely fine. If you do use a microwave for melting your oils and your butters, try not to overdo it. As soon as you see that the things are melting, take it out. A lot of people will tell you short bursts work very, very well. So consider doing short bursts and not just putting it in the microwave for about 3 minutes and seeing how it goes. Those are so easy. Nina is saying okay. Let's see. I need to come here. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Because for some reason, Facebook is acting a little crazy, guys. If you're talking to me, it's not working. Yeah, you are talking to me. Hey, Cindy, how are you? I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm really not ignoring you. But it's just not coming across. Let's see. This is where I wish I had a video queued up so I could say, and now we'll take you on a commercial break, but that's absolutely fine. And now I'll come here. For the kids to wear goggles, yes. You definitely want the, one time Paige was helping me out with my bath bombs. And she was right over the container while she was doing it, and this mixture went right up into her eyes, and just the dust of it was a little bit too much. Even the SLSA, this is a very, very fine powder. And if it gets airborne, it can start to annoy, especially in the dry state. Once it's mixed and incorporated, it is fine. But when you start to mix those, what ends up happening is it makes you kind of sort of want to cough. So I'm actually going to wear a painter's mask, if I could remember the 5th of November. Here they are. I'm going to wear a face mask when I go to mix those up. So while our butters are doing their thing, I'm going to put our face mask on. Just like that. And then we're going to grab our bowl here. And I do have a little strainer. And the strainer helps us to make sure we don't have any clumps. Hello, Michelle. Very good to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm just going to pause for a quick second and let you know who I am and what you are watching, because some of you are just now coming on. I'm Zakia Ringgold of Natural Soap by Zakia, as well as LiveSoapSchool.com, broadcasting today here on the Baraka Clan, which is Baraka Shea Butter channel. And I'm showing you a really easy DIY that you can do at home in the form of bubble scoops. And so what we've talked about so far are the ingredients that we're using, how this is particularly used, and now we're going to kind of get right to it and make it. And you're from Orlando, and you said yes. I could imagine. I'll just tweak the recipe also. Yes, definitely tweak it if you're using or if kids are going to be making it. Hey Drea, how are you? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started by getting our baking soda through our strainer. And what this is going to do is it's going to help sift and make sure we don't have any clumps. Let me move this over. Make sure we don't have any clumps in there. Now I do have a fan going, guys, because the air would be way too loud. But if I don't have any kind of situation going on, I would be over here passing out. It's a little warm. It's a little warm in the house. It's a little warm. All right. Now, typically you don't have too many clumps in your baking soda, so there's not much to worry about there. However, our citric acid. Now, the reason we use the citric acid is because the combination of citric acid and baking soda is what creates that bubbling effect when it hits the water. So I'm gonna, now this is where I usually get my clumps. My humps, all in there. Get her in. Oh dear. And now we're just gonna kind of use our hands to encourage it. To slowly encourage. This is slowly melting down over here. It's looking good, but it has a little bit of time. So as you can see, we're working on our dry ingredients while our wet ingredients are getting prepared over there. That's also going to give me a chance to rethink our scent situation. So I got a scent from Muddy Soap Company, and it is called Lemon Pound Cake. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that because this is definitely not going to be enough for the size of this. I'm going to need at least 3 ounces, and I only have 2. So we'll do more of the lemon than the pickled side. Oh, they're back already. Back from swimming. Or maybe there was no swimming today. Alright, so we have that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our... Hey, Dryer Buzz, good to see you. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in our SLSA. Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is that you do this slowly and that you don't have... you don't let it go airborne. It can cause a huge coughing effect. Let's see. What are you guys saying over there? Hey, Dryer Buzz. We also have Hey, Zakia. Awesome as always. Hi from the hockey rink in Minneapolis. Hello. Finally caught me live. Hey, Millicent. I totally understand. It's very hot in my house. My air is struggling bad, so I am using the fan. It's 114 in Vegas. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Okay, so I'm going to repeat, guys. You see how I have this face mask on? Once you start adding your liquid ingredients and it's incorporated, you can get rid of your face mask. But because I'm always running my mouth and talking, if I inhale, those are going to get to be really, really annoying. Super heart, sick with the super heart. Say sick with the super heart. That's the super heart dance, guys. He's giving me super hearts. Let me show you because you guys don't know what it is. He is from the DeCarlo side, so a super heart on the periscope is like when it's like, that's what's happening over there. Thank you so much, Sick. I appreciate it. All right, and then he's giving me peace, queen. Thanks, Sick. I appreciate it. All right, so now we have our SLSA. So again, I'm going to put that in there slowly. Slowly. Listen, Linda, listen. You don't want to get all willy-nilly and have that just flying up. You'll be in here coughing, and if you have asthma, not a good idea. And this is a surfactant, guys. This is going to give us a really good bubble effect inside of our soap. Bubble scoop. See, my mind's always on soap making. I forgot what I was doing. You got it all. And get it all. This is a very... Well, it's not really a specific science. Just the recipe that I use. I like to not overdo it with any of the ingredients, but we also don't want to waste any of our ingredients at the same time. So we've got that. These are coming down nice and slow. And now I'm just going to incorporate them with my hand. Now, if you have long fingernails, like I do, you may want to have a standby set of gloves because your nails may pierce through. And if you know anything about baking soda, not only does it remove odor, but it will chip away at your nail polish too. So a good rule of thumb is to make sure that you have another pair so you can just swap them out as needed. So this is pretty well incorporated, guys. I don't have to do much. And as you can see, by sending it through the sifter with the baking soda and the citric acid, we ended up with a really, really nice, smooth consistency. It's kind of like powder flying out of my hands. But it's going to turn into the most beautiful little bath treat. It's a bath treat for your skin, and it feels really good. All right, so we still melting over here, but I need you to melt a little faster. Let's turn you up. Now, if I would have put this directly on the heat, it would have been melted. But we're doing the double boiler method, so it takes a little while longer. One thing that you can do, cocoa butter has a higher melting point than the shea butter, and so it's going to take a little bit longer. what you can do is cut your cocoa butter up into smaller pieces, and that'll encourage it to do it a lot faster. No swimming today? No. Okay. Yes, indeed. Backup pair on deck is standard. Is standard. All right, let me grab this. We got maybe about 2 more minutes. So while I am waiting for that, we have to grab our lemon scent over here. We're going to use lemon pound cake, guys. It's just sitting there, so that's what we got. This company was at the annual soap makers gathering, and this actually smells like a pound cake. You can blow those out. This was the broadcast that almost did not happen because the power went out right before I was about to go live. I said, oh, well, maybe we're not going to have it. But as you can see, we were able to get there. All right, that is just about melted. My favorite. Oh my gosh, it smells really, really good. And it's called lemon pound cake. It is a fragrance oil. And it's pretty good. I liked it when I was there, so I got 16 ounces. And I'm going to go ahead and just measure. I can put it in here. No, ma'am. I'll put it in this little cup. Now, hopefully it doesn't. Now, you got to be careful with some of your fragrance oils because it will melt the plastic away. So we'll see if that does that to this. So we're going to end up separating our batter out into 2 so we can have a purple color and a yellow color, and then we're going to mix them together. Who's the company? The company is called Muddy Soap Co. Muddy Soap Co. is where I got that scent from. I feel like I should put this in like heavier. And I'm going to mix that with the 1 ounce of lemon that I have up there. Okay. And now that will be enough for my triple size batch. Okay, guys, so we have, can we order the fragrance? Yes, absolutely. And we'll put all of the information in the blog. So again, because everything is now melted, we have our shea butter, we have our coconut oil, we have our combination of our dry ingredients right inside of here. It consists of baking soda, citric acid, and SLSA. Then we're going to incorporate our melted shea butter and coconut oil right here. So that has come down. I got our paper towel ready. Is it hot? It's hot. Hot, hot. Let me see how hot it is. I don't want to put it in there piping hot. Oh. It's piping. It's piping hot, guys. It's piping. Normally, if we give it a little stir, little stursy. And this is what we're after right here. These are the bubble scoops that we're going to make. I'll be taking these to a gathering. There's like a product swap with other product makers. And so I'll be taking these so they can try them out. But this is what we're making. And it's a lot of fun to make. And again, you choose the size of your scoops by the doohickey tool. What is this? Cookie scooper? No. Ice cream scooper and cookie dough scooper. That will determine the size of your bubble scoops. All right. I want that to come down. It's like you wanted it to melt really quickly, but now I want the temperature to drop so I can add it in. Adorable. Yeah, there are a lot of, and these were a lot of fun to make. I mean, once you get your mixture together, it's just a matter of scooping ice cream. or scooping cookie dough. That's pretty much the consistency. It's going to feel like almost like Play-Doh when we go to mix it. Almost. Not 100%. And I have to thank all of you that are watching on YouTube. We just passed 500 subscribers. Whatever platform that you are hearing the sound of my voice, make sure you click the subscribe button, the follow button. If you haven't already, be sure to share it out if that's an option. Give us some emojis to let us know that you're here. And also, put in the comments, if this is your first time, put in the number 1. If you've been here before, put in a number 2. All of that is always greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. And if you ever decide to make any of these, share it on the page. Let us know. Say, hey, I made it. It's fantastic. All that fun stuff. All right, so we have that. It's like you can kind of feel the heat. No, it's not really going down. But we don't have all day, so we're going to do it. We're going to do it. All right, so we have our dry. We're going to slowly... Yes, Nina is saying yes. So thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you very much. My girl, oh, I forgot there's a delay. My girl, it's your first time. I wish I had my sound effects because I would have like the like the round of applause going. Well, welcome to Soap Nation. We're very happy to have you here. We are I like to say we run one of the cleanest broadcasts, both in product and in content, on social media, because we're cleaning up the world one bar at a time. Hey there, Sunny Plans. I have been wanting to learn how to do this. Well, Miriam, you got a visual on how to do it, and then once we actually move it into the blog, you'll have the step-by-step instructions. Feel free to send me a message if you have a question. Like, I'll get it. We'll get you there. And it's really simple to do. All right, that's come down a little bit. I'm just worried that I don't want it to burn my hands when I go to put it in there. But we shall see. So I'm going to pour just a little bit. Oh, you guys can't see. I need you overhead. Darn it. I'll do a slow motion version of this so you can see it. And I just poured the wet into the dry, and then I'm taking my hand and kind of mixing it all together. We are slowly incorporating that. Hey, Sunny. Miriam is clapping. Oh, I forgot. What did I say about this man? I have like a little lip here on this pot to help pour this out. It actually feels kind of nice with the warm oils going. It's kind of like you're melding in dough, or you're making a dough. It's pretty cool. It's such a pretty color, and it's getting that color from the butters that we've added. So the baking soda, you know, that helps to draw odors out. It's also great for cleaning. So we have that part. We have the citric acid, which is going to create those bubbles inside of the tub. Then we have the cocoa butter and the shea butter, which are going to condition your skin. So for everything that we make, especially for the skin, we want to make sure that every ingredient is working extra hard to do what it needs to do. And so as I'm kind of mixing this together, I'm trying to make sure that I don't have any spots that have not been covered with the butters yet. And so this will start to harden in about, I would say, 30 minutes. So as soon as I get all of this incorporated, I'm going to need to move so that I can get them formed so that they can harden. So we'll allow this to harden for maybe about 24 hours. And after 24 hours, we have got ourselves some solid bubble scoops that are fun in the tub. They're also very, very fun just to look at. And then the scent that they give off are incredible. And you get to choose the scent that you want. You get to choose your scent. So we got that. We're going to put that back over there. Turn that off. And this is the really, really relaxing, therapeutic part. I can kind of see how the ladies who make like their own breads and whatnot, the kneading of the dough, I can see how relaxing that truly is, because I'm kind of experiencing a semi moment of zen. The zen moment disappears because I'm also live streaming and I'm trying to make sure I don't miss your comments at the same time. However, this is a really good way if you had a bad day to kind of like take it out in the bowl. Take it out in the bowl. Yep. And remember what I said about those standby gloves? I can feel my nail about to pierce through, so we're going to swap them out. And what you're looking for at this point is for a uniformity in your color. In the color of the batter. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these gloves. Get a fresh pair before it goes through. Oh. Now there is a trick. Oh, I don't need this anymore. There is a trick where you can blow into the glove and then, well, maybe if your hands weren't so aggressively moist. And go in without popping it. All right, I'm going to grab my whisk at this point to help incorporate some of those ingredients. I feel like I should be saying the pizza, it's amore, whatever that song is. When your moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That song. Now I'm going to go ahead and add our Polysorbate 80 in there. Guys, sorry for that banging on the mic. That was probably very loud in your ear. And remember, we want this Polysorbate 80 particularly to make sure that we don't have any oil slicks on the top of our bathtub. We want all of the oil and the color and the scent to disperse evenly in the tub. So that's what this Polysorbate 80 is doing. And it doesn't take a lot. It does not take a lot, guys. We got that. And now we'll go again in with the hand, because I want to make sure it gets all the way down to that bottom. Because as I go down to the bottom, I see that some of that baking soda, some of my dry ingredients were just hanging out down there. Like, nope, we don't have any butter. We don't have any Polysorbate 80. All right, so we got that. Try and keep most of it in your bowl. I got some of it flicking out of my bowl. It's not so exciting. Hey, Catchy, how are you? All right, so we have that now. And as you can see, this is the consistency that we want. It'll kind of form into a ball and hold that shape. There's one more thing we need to do, and that's separate it out because we want some color. Otherwise, and you can keep it plain. Let me show you. I'm going to do one plain one just so you can see what we're going to get. What you're going to do is fill up your scooper, whether that be a cookie dough scooper or an ice cream scooper. And once you have that full, you're going to put it down on the table, scoop it out. And then it looks like, I'll bring it up. It looks like an ice cream scoop. So hopefully that comes across and it's not too washed out. But we want the bubble scoop to not only give us bubbles, we want it to change the color of the water. And that's going to harden up. So we're going to separate this out because we want some purple and we also want some yellow. And we also have to add our scent in there. That's unscented. That is unscented. Hi from Perth, Western Australia. Thanks for making this great video instruction. We call these bath bombs here. Yes, they are. Now, the only difference between this and the bath bomb is this has more oil or more butter in it because it's meant to be a little more, well, I guess depending on how you formulate your bath bombs. But hello from Australia. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. How are you? All right, and that's a horrible, horrible accent. But that's my way of saying, how are you? And so here, we now have it separated. So we're going to do a portion of the purple on this side. And for the purple, we're using fresh picked plum as the scent. And so let's get our color, which is right over here. And you don't need a lot of color either. You really don't. And you want to avoid over coloring as well. So let's grab this. And basically any shape that you have, you can mold these in and then press them out. Try and use like a silicone mold for that. And now I'm just going to pour this entire scent sample inside. It smells amazing. It smells like plums. And I'm going to use my whisk just to kind of get it in there, and then I'm going to use my hands to incorporate the color a little bit better. When do you find time? I make the time. You see that beautiful shade of purple that's coming now? I got to get down to the bottom. And that whisk is a little bit bigger than what we need. So I'm going to use my hands. I wish we had Smell-O-Scope. Listen, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, all of these, Instagram, all of these live streaming platforms, we really, really need Smell-O-Vision. If you are hearing the sound of my voice and you're trying to figure out what is this girl doing, I'm making stuff that smells good. However, nobody can smell it. They are depending on me and my nose to describe what the scent is. Girl, your hair yes, it has gotten very long, Catchy. Very long. Mr. CEO, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Very good to have you live and in color. So now we have this beautiful, beautiful shade of purple. It will be a very light shade of purple in the tub. You can think maybe about a color tone down for this. And now I'm just kind of taking my hands to make sure that everywhere in there it's blended and I don't have any like white spots where it has not been incorporated. You're doing good. I'm very happy to hear that. All right. How are you doing? Me? I'm a little hot. We had several flood warnings today. And so this was the broadcast that almost did not happen because maybe about 10 minutes before we went live, all the lights went out. But they came back on in like 2 minutes. All right, so we have our purple. That one is ready to go. It's ready for me to start scooping. I'm going to go ahead and do our lemon as well. Now, I do need additional gloves, so I've just wasted another pair of gloves. Always go from your lighter color to your darker color because it wouldn't matter if I would have started with the yellow one, but I got plenty of gloves. I've got plenty of gloves, guys. Always go from the lighter to the darker because we don't want that purple to end up in the yellow. You need a bigger bowl or I have a set of smaller hands, but it would really get all over the place. You know, Paige has a great time. I do. I need one of those really large stainless steel bowls that's really round, huh? Well, this is hot over here, Paigey, so I gotta wait for that temperature to come down because that's where your seat is. Okay, so as soon as that temperature comes down, because that was on high. All right, so now let's go ahead with our lemon. We're going to add our color. Josh in there dropping stuff. Now I'm going to use a half a teaspoon. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon total. 1 teaspoon of our yellow color. Now this is a very vibrant, almost a neon yellow, and it's going to look very pretty with those purple. Now you have a choice when you mix these, or when you scoop them up. You can scoop them all as one, so it can be a completely yellow color, or you can combine the two and you'll have a little bit of purple and a little bit of yellow together. So we've got that. We're going to go ahead and add in our lemon pound cake. Oh Lord. So imagine oh my gosh, imagine you have a lemon pound cake with some fresh picked plum. Now, I know I always tell you, this is a dream, guys. It smells really good. I know I always tell you guys about our Soper's General Warning, do not eat it. This one is really going to require a Soper's General Warning. It smells like something right out of a bakery. It smells like something right out of a bakery. And just so we're not on here all day, I'm going to start scooping them out. I'm going to use the large one really quickly so you can see the size difference from using an ice cream scoop versus a cookie dough scoop. It's not going to work. The pilot went out. You're going to have to light it with a match or something. And so we have this mixing together. And Catchy, how are you? You need a bigger bowl. Oh my, you can smell it. I'm telling you. In the color, unfortunately the color is a little bit washed out. The color is a little bit washed out. But I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it on Instagram. If you are not connected with me on Instagram, I am Natural Soap by Zakia on there. All of our finished creations are typically posted there, and I love for you guys to come on there and say, hey, I was on the live stream when you made it, and then that way you'll get a truer representation of the color. This is already starting to get hard. So what we'll do at this point is we'll take our bigger scoop, and I'm going to use it for the yellow because we have more of the yellow in here, and we take that, we push it in. Yellow is one of your favorite, Catchy. Winner, winner, Catchy dinner. Oh, not Catchy. I usually say chicken dinner, but.
Did you say winner, chicken dinner?
I did. And then we just take it, and we take the scoop, and it comes off just like that. Now, you guys can't see it, so let me bring it up so you can see the texture that it is. Oh, a couple of you have went over and connected with me on Instagram. So there is the texture of it right there. So it kind of looks like an ice cream scoop. And that's what we're after. We want the illusion of an ice cream scoop. I need to get on IG. Come on over to the picture side. Come on over to picture land. And that will start to harden up in a matter of minutes. All right, so I'm going to switch over to our smaller bubble scoop, guys. Where'd we put it? It's right here. And I'm going to take a little bit of that and a little bit of the purple. Wow. Following. Thank you, Michelle. We take that. Boom. So then we get like a double bubble. This is more reminiscent of water ice. If you guys are from the Philadelphia area or you've heard the term water ice, because typically this is what our water ice looks like. I rarely see an ice cream that's this vibrant in terms of a purple or a yellow or even a red or an orange, but water ice comes in all of these colors. Water ice typically comes in all of these colors. Now, if it kind of wants to separate, you just kind of push it, and then once it solidifies, it'll stay together. So I need to stop running my mouth and get these scooped because the mixture will harden. All of you that have connected over on Instagram, thank you so very much. I can see new followers that are joining. Very, very cool. Look out, because typically if I'm not live streaming, I'm telling a story in my Instagram stories. And so here, I'm going to take some of that purple. I'm going to fill it out with the yellow. And then you would do this for your entire batter. Now this will probably give me about 50 bubble scoops. The recipe that's going to be on the Baraka page is going to give you 20. 20 of the smaller ones, or 6 of the larger, or 4 of the large ones. And if you want to make more, you just double the recipe. And then it's just a matter of you getting a little creative on how you fill your scooper. And then if you're like in a production line and you got some folks helping you, it's pretty cool. You like them? No? You're just looking? Josh is just standing there like... Unfortunately, it doesn't come across very clear on the camera. Can you grab a... Josh is going to show you from... No, the camera's right there. That's what they look like up close and personal. So that one has the purple and the yellow. Thank you. And then when you drop this in the tub, it creates a bubble bath with those colors and the scents that we have used. So we have a combination of the fresh picked plum and the lemon pound cake. And the lemon pound cake, guys. So it works out very, very, very well. And yes, I am really getting the feel of a water ice more so than a looks authentic. Well, that's what we're after. Hold on, let me go over here, because you know what? I forgot to share my own broadcast. For all of you that have liked the video, shared it with a friend, thank you for doing that. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. It helps to, let me see. Let's share it. No, I don't want to do that. Right post. Boom. Post. There we go. I'm like, what happened? All right, so we're almost, I'm about to lie and say we're almost done. We're nowhere near done, but we're almost done with the broadcast. So do you guys have any questions for me? Hey, Whirly Springs, how are you? Do you have any questions for me in these last few minutes on the bubble scoops? Again, they smell great. They feel good. I feel good. I hate the fact that I can't just tell my girlfriend over here, Alexa, to play whatever I sing at that point, only because the way YouTube and Facebook are set up, it's known as copyright infringement. Can't play music, which is very odd, because if it's supposed to be a true representation of a day in the life of, how many of us are walking around in silence? There's typically music playing. So that's kind of annoying. That's kind of, but you know, I get it. Artists they want to get paid for their creations. All right. So I don't think I have missed any other questions. I heard the little ding ding over there. You're good. I'm glad to hear it. Do you make bubble scoops? Do any of you already make bubble scoops? I know we had someone from Australia who said these are very similar to their bath bombs, right? I'm curious. You could probably put this in a bath bomb. A bath bomb mold, you would probably get the same thing. I love the packaging. Well, this here is for a gathering that I'm going to. So I try to attend soap maker gatherings and whatnot. And one of them, there's a product swap with other product makers. And the idea behind that is you get a chance to see other products that people make. You get ideas for your own packaging. And this particular one, everyone actually shares the recipe, so you can try it at home as well. Would you let them harden in the silicone mold? I would. I wouldn't move them until, if they're in a silicone mold. I'm going to actually try. Well, no, I don't have a silicone mold small enough. I wouldn't move them while they're in the silicone mold. Once they're hard, I would say give it maybe about 7 or 8 hours after you've put it in there, and then take it out and let it sit for an additional 10. Fill in that 24-hour situation. Good question, Miriam. I'm trying to think if I can quickly put my hand on a bath bomb mold. But see, this isn't the right consistency for a bath bomb. See you later, Catchy. This is definitely not the right consistency for a bath bomb. It's a little too moist. I like my bath bomb moisture to be a little drier than this. This would typically fall apart in a bath bomb, or it wouldn't stick together. We would do half the amount of oils, or a third of the amount of oils that we used in the bubble scoops. See you later. All right, guys. So I'm Zakia Ringgold. This has been an incredible broadcast. You guys have been amazing. Be sure to follow us wherever you are watching right now. If you have not already, click that follow button, click that subscribe button, click that like button. Yes, I made some not very successful. Is that with your bubble scoops or your bath bombs? I can tell you, I had a horrible time when I first started making bath bombs, and it all had to do with the humidity. I used the exact same recipe. I started making them, and I started trying to make them. I started trying to make them in June, and here in the city, it gets very, very, very hot in the summertime, and our humidity is crazy. And so I was ready to throw away all of the ingredients that I had bought, and then something said to try it again, but that was like in November around the holidays. I used the exact same recipe, and when I tell you I had perfect bath bombs, it all has to do with the consistency and the moisture in your air. So if you have a lot of moisture in your air, you're not going to want to have as much moisture in your recipe. You're going to want to adjust, which is kind of hard, because it's like, what do you mean adjust? And it just takes a little bit of practice. But with bubble scoops, the reason I like them, they're not as dependent on that moisture in the air. The recipe that you're going to have on the Baraka page, you're going to get great bubble scoops every single time, because it's enough of the oils, because we're leveraging the oils. We're not leveraging any water or alcohol or witch hazel to form the bubble scoop. And not only are we using that to form it, we're also creating something that works very well in the tub to condition and moisturize your skin. So it's a win-win. Winner, winner, winner. All right. And I think I'm going to do a couple of the larger ones. Let me see. How many did we get? Just so we're not on here forever. Yeah. I'm going to switch over and do some larger ones. Ooh, that was cute. I wish I had a water ice stand. Not really. Not to do the work, but this kind of gets me in the mindset of a water ice. Bubble scoops. Bubble scoops. Bubble scoops. Yes. And these are fun for the summertime, even in the winter time, but especially after you've had a long sweaty day and you just want to go get in the tub, relax for a little bit of self-care, a little bit of R&R. Drop yourself a bubble scoop inside. And another, with these, You typically just crumble them under running water, and as the water runs, it's going to disperse those oils and the color and the bubbles all in the tub with you, which is great. Now these will probably come with one large scoop and then 2 of the smaller scoops with them. Bath bombs, I turn to fairy. Listen, I got a whole thing of fairy dust. Oh, that one didn't like it. I didn't pack that one enough. I got a whole bowl of fairy dust. Hey, Kadeem, how are you? I have a whole gang of fairy dust in this studio. It gets hard. How can you loosen it back up? It's not going to get rock solid like a bath bomb. So you'll be able to still crumble it. You'll still be able to crumble it. But it's not going to be as hard as a bath bomb, if that makes sense. Now, a bath bomb should be rock solid. And again, that's because of the oil content in here and not the water and the alcohol. All right, does that feel? That feels like it wants to do its thing. There we go. One more. Thank you. You're welcome. And now, you just, as you saw, the first time I took the lemon one out, it kind of crumbled. You want to make sure that your scoop is packed nice and tight when you're doing these. Otherwise, it doesn't have darn it, lies you tell. That would be known as a blooper. The opposite of what I'm telling you to do. Otherwise, it will crumble and it won't be able to take that shape. So let's break that apart again. Let's see. Scoopy scoop. Get her in. Yes. It only did that because we were live and I was running my mouth saying, oh, if you do this. There we go. All right, let's get some of this purple. LOL. I'm serious. It's like, oh, let me make a liar out of her real fast, right quick. This one actually looks like there was some that wasn't, the color wasn't mixed at the bottom. Like, it just wanted to separate. I don't want that. Nope, we gotta do that one again. So drop it in, break it. Nina, you're laughing. I'm serious. It's like, no, I don't want it to work. Not on duty. All right. I could see how people who work in ice cream parlors, like, they get tired at the end of the day because you're constantly, that one doesn't want to do it. I'll leave you alone for a minute. I'll leave this side alone for a minute. It's like, no ma'am. Finish the yellow. It's tiring after a while where you're just like the same motion with your hands can get to be overwhelming. All right, we're down to the last of the bowl, guys. Maybe we'll mix the yellow and the purple for good measure. There we go. All right, I think we're going to mix some of this purple and yellow together to see what we get. So we're just going to take it, put it in the bowl like that, half purple, half yellow. And we're going to scoop it in, push it down, scoop it, scoop it. See how that turns out. Oh, that came out nice. You can't see it. Let me turn it a little bit. And I think we got room for one more. Pour that in. Paige is calling you, Josh.
What?
Paige is calling you. And we have the yellow here. So last one, again, I am Zakia Ringgold of Natural Soap by Zakia, as well as livesoapschool.com. All of you that are checking in from the Baraka Shea Butter channel, thank you very much for joining us live. The recipe for this will be posted on the Baraka blog. And again, it's very simple to make. We're using cocoa butter. We're using shea butter because we want it to condition the skin. And then we also have some baking soda, which helps to remove odor from the body or from anywhere. If you ever put baking soda in your refrigerator, it's to try and pull that odor out. Then we also use some citric acid, a little bit of scent, because you can scent it however you want, a little bit of colorant, and then we also used a surfactant, which was SLS. Look at that. That one didn't even want to come out. Oh, man. He got her crying. We'll fake that one. We'll just push her on. There you go. And so we now have a little bit of fairy dust. And in case you guys are wondering, like, okay, so what would happen if you fill this up with water? I'm going to do that. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I'm going to fill this up with water. No, I'm going to get one of these. It'll be easier. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to get us some water and we're going to have a little demo. We're going to do a little demo. So basically what you would do is you would pretend that this is your bathtub. All of you are very visual people. You'll be able to pick up what I'm putting down right now. Good times. Good times. Anytime you need a payment. All right. So you would have your bubble scoop and you would take it and you would crumble it under running water. And as you crumble it, what it will do is it will create bubbles as well as that color right in your tub. And so your bubbles will turn that color. And that was just a really small amount. I'll do one more. But if you have this under running water, what will end up happening is it will continue to bubble throughout the tub. But we have a very contained example. And it looks like purple. What color does purple and yellow make? Looks like we're getting a little bit more darker purple. And it'll continue to lather on up, guys. Maybe I didn't apply enough pressure when, yes, you want to pack it hard. Pack it as hard as you can so that it doesn't feel like anything else can get in there, and then use that to take it out. So we have done our mini scoops. We have done the larger bubble scoops, and now you know exactly what it takes to make your very own bubble scoops. It's a tub treat for you at home. It's something that you can do with kids. It's a lot of fun. Just have them wear goggles to make sure that if anything kind of gets into their eyes, it doesn't actually get into their eyes. Thank you for joining, guys. Have a fantastic evening. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and follow. Bye, everyone.